Reverse. There we go. Hello. Hello. Welcome to Wednesday WIP Knockout, guys. I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for being here on a Wednesday early afternoon. We are going to have a blast today. I'm so excited. Do not forget, we are doing our announcement of the winner to our giveaway today. I'm going to be doing that in section number 3. So make sure you stick around to 1, hear if you were the winner, and 2, find out what I selected as the prize for our giveaway. Hello. I want to make sure I close this out. So again, I am vertically, I'm using my phone for this because I have found that I seem to have the best quality video when I use my phone opposed to the digital camera on a tripod. For some reason, either the camera gets too hot, it overheats, or I have some kind of internet connection that makes things wonky, which with my phone, I can use my Wi-Fi in my home. And if the Wi-Fi goes wonky for whatever reason, I just turn off the Wi-Fi, use the internet directly to my phone, and I still have good quality. So based on all of the experiences that you have probably experienced with me in the past, it's been quite a journey, and I'm so glad that you have experienced it with me, even though it's been quite the ride. Using my phone seems to work out the best for me. So I want to make sure that we can see. I actually might need to bring you closer so that way, you know, everything can be easier for you to see. I want to make sure. I moved my office around. You probably didn't notice that right off the bat, but I did. I rearranged things just a little bit where my desk is at. Is that better? I want to make sure. Okay, when the numbers start to go, I'm gonna make sure, maybe if I zoom in. Love that feature about the phone, that I can just be like, zoom, yoink. No, that's too close, a little too close. There we go, that's better. I just want to make sure that you guys can see that. That is going to be the clock indicator that is going to help us to watch the countdown of our sections to know how much time we're going to spend on projects. If you are brand new to my Wednesday WIP Knockouts, welcome! I'm so excited. Please let me know in the chat. In fact, when I was going through the chat for last week, there were quite a few brand new people, which makes me so happy that people are finding this live. This is a very structured live. It's not just me kind of talking and sharing. It's got a lot of purpose. Our Wednesday WIP Knockouts, they consist of the first 5 minutes is us setting the stage. If people just found this live, like the indication, the notification just came on, you're like, oh yeah, that just began. You can click on, go grab 3 projects, 3 WIPs that you have around your home. And then after the first 5 minutes of this video, I start session number 1. There are 3 sessions. Each session is 20 minutes long. And the goal is for like session number 1, you hyper focus on one project. Like I'm talking tunnel vision. I don't even want you to look at the screen. I want you to look down. My job, my goal is to just give you something to listen to while you are hyper focusing on your project and working, chiseling away at it to hopefully get it off your plate. Then after session number 1, we'll have a 5-minute transition. Then session number 2, where you'll grab your second project and hyper focus. Then after session 2, we do a stretch together, a crocheter stretch, but really technically it's just like a stretch. There's nothing crochet specific about it, but it's in general, really good practice at that time to do a really nice stretch together. I will be leading that. After the stretch, we will dive straight into session number 3, which is the third session, third project, hyper focusing on that. It's also session number 3 is where I usually do any giveaways. And it is actually for today, I am announcing the winner to a giveaway. These prizes are generally minimal. It's just for funsies. We're just having a good time. And so every now and then I just say, okay, we're gonna do a giveaway and this is how you enter. And then, okay, we're announcing the winner. It's not gonna be super, I don't want it to be like, okay, it's time, it's, oh, It's 2:05. We're going to start session number 1. Can you see it? You can kind of see it. Let me move. I got to talking because I do that, and the clock got away from me. Okay, so I'll do what I can and to let you see the clock, and I will be looking at the clock and verbalizing how much time is left within each session. So again, I'm going to try to do everything I can where you do not have to look up. You can just look down and hyper focus on your project. Okay. Yeah, session number 3, going to do that giveaway, and then we're done. And these lives, they are long, but I feel like the time just escapes us. It just disappears, and we're like, what happened? Really? It's over already? What? But I have the best time with you guys, and I thank you so much for being here. I wanted to let you know, we are live right now. You have my attention. You have my time. I'm here live with you right now. So if you have a question that is crochet or yarn, even YouTube related, I'm an open book. You can ask me. I just want to help people, lift people up. And if I don't know the answer, I will write it down and I will get the answer back to you next week when we join each other again. If you have a question that you'd like to ask me in the chat, please start your question with a couple question marks. It really helps my attention span as I'm quickly like scanning, trying to find questions, and I will answer it thoroughly. I do not just try to give a quick answer to move on to the next. I try to give a full detailed answer, which means that I end up spending a bit of time on each question. If you have a question that is time sensitive, where you're like, I need an answer right away, can you please answer that right away? Then unfortunately, you cannot do super chat, super stickers with this live because I am doing something special at this live. But if you like shout it and then people, I have a delay. So if you see that there's a question and someone says like important, like all caps important, can you guys just start shouting at me and I will get the hint with the chat? Like, because usually I try to stay right here. I'm talking to you, I'm looking at you, and I'm like having this interaction with you, and I'm not looking at the chat, I'm not looking at the words. So if you start just shouting at me, and that'll work. And I know this is my camera. Remember that live when I thought that I was looking at a different camera and I started moving that camera around and you guys just ended up having a conversation with my chair? Like, yeah, so I know this is my camera, so I will get the hint on that. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I want to let you know that today's live is very special. I did turn off super chat, super stickers, and I replaced those with a fundraiser because, as most of you know, I have a deep heart. I really care about lifting up fundraisers, charities that, you know, where people are trying to do good in the world. So every now and then I'm going to try to make one of these lives dedicated to a charity. And today's charity, if you go to where you're chatting and you look right next to the chat, you'll see it's a heart with like 2 hands holding. If you click on that, it'll show that the charity that I am featuring today is for Hurricane Helene victims from North Carolina. I know people that live in North Carolina that see the devastation and tragedy on a daily basis. And it's a thing where I think our attention span, man, guys, our attention span, it's just like we have so much coming at us all the time that we hyper focus on one thing. Oh, these people need our help. Look what they're going through. Oh my gosh. And then another devastation will happen and our attention just kind of shifts. Now remember, guys, you're focusing, you're hyper focusing. I'm just talking. You're not even looking at me. Remember, you're hyper focusing on your project right now. We have 15 minutes and 30 seconds left of session number 1. I promise I'll get to the chat. I think with everything pulling at our attention, even just like social media, our day-to-day advertisements, I mean, oh my gosh, being a content creator, I'm always trying to educate myself, trying to stay current, like what's the new trend, how is content being received now, what are people hoping for from content now. Every year is different. It really blows your mind, and you're like, okay, so this year we're doing something completely different. All right. Like, okay. But with that said, there's still people back with Hurricane Helene. They're still living in the damage. They're still like experiencing the trauma and the devastation. And so I just wanted to give a little love back to them, you know, at least if anything, just kind of give some recognition that yes, I still see you. Yes, I still remember you. You are not forgotten. And I am gonna do what I can by, I guess, I say using my platform, even though I don't want to say that as if like I am like a multi-million subscriber kind of like high platform superstar. I don't have that much influence, but I think every little bit helps. And every individual that I can at least talk to about it, like talking to you, just one person, just saying, hey guys, want to have a conversation about like Hurricane Helene and how that's still like really a thing and people are still really experiencing that. I think that's special in itself that we don't forget. So with that being said, if you care to give a dollar, just $1, a dollar plus 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 a dollar adds up to multiple dollars. And maybe we can just like make a little bit of help. So that's what today's live theme is, I guess you would say. I have that chosen, selected. So no super chat, super stickers today. So if you have a question that needs addressing right away, the only way to really like kind of catch my attention, because those are turned off, is to just kind of like all caps, important, please. So anyways, moving on. We have 12 minutes and 45 seconds left of session number 1. Whew. Okay, before I really kind of dig through questions, I noticed, I got my computer pulled up over here so I can see like chats easier and I'm not like touching my phone a billion times. I got a brand new loyal supporter. Karen, welcome to my loyal supporters membership on YouTube. With that membership, you get these exclusive emojis that you can go wild and crazy with here in all of my lives. So please just kind of like get ridiculous and go nuts, play with those, have fun with those. You also get a discount on my website if you make any purchases. And I just really, really appreciate you lifting up my channel and being a part of everything that I do. So thank you for that. The other thing I want to address is if I miss your question, I do try to go through the chat after our lives and be like, did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? And I did. And the question was from Dawn. So Dawn, if you're here, I didn't record your last name because I didn't want to fully shout out. But Dawn asked about a border for a chevron blanket. And borders for chevrons are tricky because obviously you've got that wave on the top and the bottom, right? And a typical border is not going to work because at the points, if you're doing like a solid something, it's just going to start bunching or ruffling where everything kind of connects at the top of a point or even the bottom of a point for the other side of the blanket. So something that you can do for fun if you need something to finish off a chevron blanket is fringe. There's a lot of different types of fringe. It can be something where it's just like yarn that you kind of slip knotted into the stitches at the end and the beginning. But something else that you can do is you can do that fringe and then you can take like a couple yarns from this fringe, a couple yarns from this fringe and join those together. And then you have like this cool like fringe knot detail at the end that looks really, really beautiful, clean, and elevates the project a lot. Something else that you could do is if you would consider just tassels on the 4 corners. I've seen that done. Pom-poms on the 4 corners. I've seen that done as well. These are just finishing touches, finishing touch options that people do for their blanket projects that would work for a chevron and be very complimentary for a chevron. If you are somebody who is like, well, I really want to clean up the sides, so I wanted to do like a full outline. In that case, a trick that you could do would be to work this pick a different color for the border. Okay, go with me on this. All right, pick a different color for the border so the border really pops. Slip stitch into the upper corner stitch. Work the top row like you worked every other row in the project. Okay, but you're doing it using a different color. When you get to the first corner, there's 2 ways that you can work a corner. One, make 3 single crochet or 3 stitches, because I've seen this done in half double crochet, double crochet. So don't want to exclusively say that you can only do this with single crochet stitches. But in the first corner, make 3 stitches in that last stitch. The first stitch is the last stitch for that side. The second stitch is like your turning stitch that helps you kind of slowly guide to the next side. And the third stitch is the first stitch for the next side of your project. And then you'll just kind of like rotate everything and start working along the side of your project. Another way I've seen people do the corner is making a stitch, then chaining 1 or even chaining 2, depending on the project, chaining, turning your work and making another stitch in that same corner stitch, and then working on the side. It kind of looks like a V, you know, so it's like stitch, then chain, then stitch. The point is though, making your corner in a way so you can rotate and it's not pulling the stitches or pushing the stitches. It's just everything can lay flat, right? That's the goal. And then working along the side of your blanket. This is like border 101 right now. Okay, when you're working a blanket border on the side of a project, if your row ends with a single crochet or a half double crochet, even if the last stitch is like a slip stitch, you'll make 1 stitch in the side of that row. Slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, last stitch, making 1 stitch in the side of that row. If the stitch is a double crochet, the last stitch or first stitch of that row is a double crochet, you will make 2 stitches in the side of that stitch, side of that row. If it's a treble crochet, you'll make 3. Now, I do want to say everything is like, always lay your project down and check. I've noticed with like post stitches, because post stitches are not stacked, they overlap. When I work a border with a post stitch in that last stitch, I will only make 1 stitch in the side of that post stitch because it's now shrunk, because it is like overlapping, it's not stacked. And I only know this because after working that first row, I lay my project flat and I look at it and I'm like, are you flat or are you wavy or are you like scrunchy? If it's wavy, there's too many stitches. The stitches don't have enough elbow room and they're like, get out of my way. And so they start like making room for themselves and they start doing this. It's like a ruffle. If the blanket is doing like this pinch thing where everything is just kind of like coming in, it means there's not enough stitches and all the stitches are like, I can reach you, like I'm trying to reach you. And so you need to go back and you need to add more stitches. There's not enough room. We got 5 minutes and 50 seconds left of session number 1. So working the side of your blanket with a chevron, then when you get to the bottom, just again, work the bottom of it with the same stitch, just follow that chevron and then work the next side. And if you do a couple rows of this or a couple rounds of this, then it will look like you have put a border on your project, even though you didn't like flatten out the top and the bottom. There is a way to flatten out the top and the bottom, but it's tricky and it takes a lot of stitch manipulation and comfortability with what you're doing. And honestly, it's more work than necessary, and it really will probably kill the whole joy out of the project trying to make a flat top and flat bottom of a chevron. Again, it can be done. I'm not saying it can't. I'm just saying if you're brand new, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just kind of go with it, or do those extra things. The fringe, the beautiful fringe where you take fringe and you knot fringe with fringe and you like make the cool design. Do the pom-poms, do the tassels. There's things you can do. So Dawn, thank you so much for asking that question. I hope that was a good answer. And for those of you who didn't even think about that, now you know. Oh my God. There you go. Okay. We got 4 minutes. 4 minutes of session number 1. Gonna dig into the chat. I hope many of you are still sticking around. Again, you're hyper focusing on your project right now. You're not even looking at the screen. You're working on chiseling away at your WIP. We're here to clear off your plate, not add to it. Cool. And if you don't want to crochet, I've had people color. They chose to color during this. I've had people choose to do chores during this. I've had people work during this. It's your time, so however you want to use it. La la la. Welcome Stacy, Jan. Welcome Sharon. Hello. Welcome Air Lover. I love it. One day, Air Lover, I will find out your real name, because at this point, like, I've seen you so many times. I'm like, oh, I know who you are. Like, I recognize your name. Tracy, hello. Monica, welcome. Lana, hi. Sorry, I'm like looking over here. Okay, now I'm gonna be hello. Just an overall hi. I'm so glad you're here. I'm gonna go look for those question marks. La, la, la. I love that. It's JW Quilt says, finally, I have time after retirement to attend. Congratulations. I hope you're loving retirement. I hope that you're having time to work on all the things that you want to work on. La, la, la. Ooh, Fran, you're working on a waffle blanket. I have actually, so giant waffles, the waffle stitch with bulkier yarn. I think it's cool, but for some reason, I don't know what it is. I am really intrigued to play with a waffle stitch using like a size 2 weight yarn, or yeah, size 2. I think I wouldn't want to go to a 1. But I was like walking around. I get inspiration from everywhere. My kids, it's so funny because I'll just like see something and I'll whip out my phone to take a picture. And I overheard my daughter saying once, she had a friend with her, and I did this where I saw something. I was like, ooh, you know, take up my picture. And my daughter goes, yeah, she does that sometimes. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, that's a thing now. Like, didn't know I did it that much. I'm like, okay. We've got 1 minute and 30 seconds left of session number 1. You're doing fantastic. Hopefully you've made significant progress in your first project, whatever that might be. Please let me know in the chat when we do the transition. Let me know what projects you brought with you to work on today. I just love to hear what you're actively working on, like what things you choose to put your time into, you know? Oh my gosh! So Anonymous, beloved Asheville, donated $20. Thank you so much for donating to the Hurricane Helene charity fund. I really, really appreciate that so much. Thank you, thank you. Question marks, question marks. See, I get FOMO, guys. Like, I see all these combos and I want to dig in and I'll be like, what you talking about? What you talking about? La la la. How do you find crochet retreats? Feather Song Crochet. I think if you were going to find Oh, Brittany, what's going on? How to donate? Oh, I just talked about that a little bit. You must have missed it, Brittany. So right next to where you chat is a little heart with holding hands. That's usually where the super chat super stickers would be, but I turned super chat super stickers off for this live, and I am featuring a fundraiser. So if you, 20 minutes is up. I'll get back to you, Brittany, in just a second. Okay, so everybody, our first 20-minute session is over. I'm gonna activate the 5-minute transition. We have a 5-minute transition, so if you are really close to finishing a row, or you're really close to coming to a pausing, stopping spot, you have time. Go ahead and make your way to that pausing, stopping spot. I don't want any stress. No stress, no anxiety. This is your woo-saw. We're chilling, we're hanging out, we're working on projects together. We're working together to finish some WIPs that have just been giving us the side eye, being like, when are you finishing me? When are you finishing me? Well, now we're working on them, you know, we're satisfying that. 5 minutes, go ahead and find your way to the end of that row. Find your way to a good stopping spot. Fold your project nice and neatly. Go ahead and put that in, either put it away or put it in its bag, you know, put it in its spot. Take the opportunity to grab something to drink. If you need to use the restroom, go to the bathroom. If you want to, just grab project number 2 and get yourself comfy cozy, and you don't have to wait for me. You can get started right now if you want to. All right, so Brittany, right next to the chat is that heart holding hands. If you click on it, the charity featured for today is to help Hurricane Helene victims, because I want to just bring awareness that those people are still going through a lot. There's still a huge transition happening. There's still a lot of devastation that needs to be cleaned up before they can start healing and moving on. And I just want to let those people know they're not forgotten, that people still care, people still remember, and you know, it's something that is deep in my heart to, you know, try to make this world a better place and to help other charities by just bringing awareness. That's what I do. All right, so 3 minutes, guys, of the transition. 3 minutes for the transition. Kelly Hart, you have a bunch of question marks. Gosh, this is way too far away from me. Come closer, get over here. I love that quote. I heard that from a movie. I know it's based off of the video game, but Mortal Kombat. Ugh. But I love movie quotes. Whenever they can apply, I love to use them. So Kelly Hart has a bunch of question marks. How long does it take to crochet a slouchy beanie? Oh, that really depends on like how fast you crochet, the size of the yarn that you're using, the size of the crochet hook you're using, the pattern that you're choosing. Is it a slouchy beanie for a child and a teenager? Is it an adult small, medium, large? There's a lot of contributing factors there. And I think that's what's funny, and it gets people kind of, or it gets me hung up a little bit when I get asked certain questions about projects. I'm like, so in order for me to help with that, I need to know like 20 answers. I have 20 questions for you. but all in all, let's just theoretically, hypothetically say that you're working a very, very basic stitch using a size 4 weight yarn, maybe an eye crochet hook to give that size 4 weight yarn some drape and elasticity, and you're making, let's say, like an adult small beanie, which I think is pretty common. You could probably, and let's say your speed. Let's say that you're an average, like you're choosing this project as something that you relax into, so you're not like speeding, you don't have like a deadline, you're not trying to go really fast, you're just kind of like using it as a, I'm gonna relax and just do this. I would probably say 2 to 4 hours. Again, variation for reasons, right? So yeah, I would say it could take you anywhere from 2 to 4 hours to make that beanie. So I know like 2 to 4 hours is quite a range. Well, there's a lot of contributing factors. so I think that's a fair answer for a slouchy beanie. Speaking of, I really want to make one. I have all this awesome yarn that was gifted to me, and I was thinking the other day, what would I make with that? I was like, I love beanies. I'm somebody that I think I look really cute in beanies. I love beanies. And I, looking at my channel, I need to make more beanie tutorials. 1 second. Awesome. I looked over right at the right time. Session number 2, guys, has begun. See what I mean about time just flying? Cool. So right there. Session number 2, hopefully at this point you have grabbed your second project. It is now in your lap. You are looking down, not at the screen, not at me, not at me. Don't look at me. You're looking down. And you are working on your project. Unless you're here purely just because you wanna hang. Make Michi's friendship beanie, Tiffany. Ooh, I'm gonna write that down. I love Michi. She's so busy now. She's a busy one. I call her Superwoman. Seriously, Michi's Crochet Nook. I'm not good with names, so don't come for me. But I love her, and I know her personally, and she's Superwoman. She's Superwoman. She's a nurse. She's a mom. Now she has a channel. She makes all of these things. Like, wow. I'm working on a snake. That is cool, Karen. I love that. Michi's friendship. I'm gonna ask her about it. Like, hey, how would you feel if I can make it for myself. I'll make it for myself and share. Be like, hey, if you like this, go to this channel. Help support her. Thanks, Sarah Lover, for the idea. I love it. Oh, Sarah, I'm glad you're here. Who cares if you're late? I'm glad that you made it. I'm gonna work on a ginger. I'm gonna say this wrong. A gingham blanket. Okay, moving up. What I miss? Hi, Tiffany. I am sorry that I'm late. Time ran away from me. I'm working on the project today. A commissioned baby blanket. Oh, how fun! I love it. I think it's funny that I have had like a handful of people say, like, apologize that they're late, and I'm like, it's okay. I'm so glad that you're here. I think it's special that you're like, I'm sorry. It's like, you being here is what matters. Is what I mean. That's cool that you made it in general. Have you done the giveaway process? No, that's in the 3rd section. I keep all giveaway stuff in that last section. So either announcing or giving. Yeah. La. Making sure I get through this. Oh my gosh, Kelly's working on a mosaic granny pillow cover. I hope you have a blast with that. Something I didn't, when I decided to just kind of dip my toe in the water for mosaic projects last year, I had no idea that it's just such a completely different project in the sense that you don't turn your work. There's an endless amount of tails on either side of your project, and that, yeah, you start your row, you end your row, you cut your yarn, go back to the beginning, start your work, end your work, cut your yarn, go back. I was like, whoa, mind blown. Okay. I made one of them. Oh, cool. You made one of her beanies and she's gonna put in her slideshow. Awesome. Working on a Tunisian baby blanket. Fun. I'm also obsessed with Tunisian work right now. Gosh, last year in my crochet club, I had a lot of people interested in all different types of crochet styles. I mean, my mind, it was amazing. It was amazing to dabble in all of the different types of crochet styles. It was a bit mind-blowing because I didn't realize how many there were, how vastly different they were. They weren't necessarily harder, just extremely different. And I was like, whoa. In the Crochet Club, we went over corner to corner, Tunisian, mosaic, waterfall. What else did we go over? I want to say there was another one. I know we did surface crocheting. But there was just like, just playing with those ideas and all of the different techniques and how beautiful they all are in their own way. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is just, and you know, us crocheters, we want to do everything and we get inspired, and that's why we're doing Wednesday WIP Knockout, because because we start things and then we have to finish them eventually, right? But I think last year I was talking to you guys about wanting to make my own clothes. Like, I was thinking in my wardrobe, man, I just need a refresh and I would love to make my own things. Making clothes is not necessarily hard. It's just learning how something is structured. And so I have not done as much as I want to do, because again, I do that thing where I start something and I need to finish. There's so much I need to finish this year. This year is all about like finishing things, because I have so many awesome projects that just need to be wrapped up. They just need to be finished. And quite a few of them are wearables too. But of course I had to go and start something new because I'm human, and you know, I'd say I'm a glutton for punishment, but I'm like, why'd I do that? But it's because I really wanted a wearable that was black, because my favorite things to wear, I love wearing black. I love wearing anything on the grayscale. I love, see, like this is that, it's like a silver color. I love wearing anything on the brown scale. So I have a lot of beige, a lot of brown tones in there. And I love creams and whites. Like, I'm earthy, okay? Yes, I do want to branch into color, but I want them to be like earthy colors. If I were to do brand colors, they would be dark, rich, earthy colors. And that can be dark, rich red, dark, rich blue, dark, rich green. But anything that's kind of more on the earthy side, earthy, moody side. Like, that's me, earthy, moody. Like, yeah, that's me. But I noticed I don't have anything in my closet that reflects that, and it's been bothering me. So I was at Fiber Ladies anniversary on Saturday. Went and helped. They had such a great turnout. I was so happy for them. I asked them, I was like, what's the anniversary number? And they said that this particular anniversary they were celebrating was just the 1-year anniversary of their shop being in their new location, but that they have been in business for 18 years. I was like, oh my gosh, that is awesome. So while I was there, I was like, I want to work on my yarn. I want to do something with my yarn, because obviously I want to be working on a yarn that they have there in the shop. So if anyone asks about it, I can be like, oh, it's over there. If you like this, it's right over there, you know. Just kind of like, it was my way of extra supporting. And I was like, oh, it's my opportunity to play with black. So playing with black, this is my black yarn. And I'm using Tunisian. So I've got cord and stuff, Tunisian hook, and I'm just doing the full stitch, the Tunisian full stitch, because I wanted something that was airy, like lots of holes. It kind of looks similar to a seed stitch or a linen stitch, but if you look closely, it doesn't have, I think you wouldn't notice that it was different until you got close. I mean, really. So I'm purely just doing the Tunisian stitch because I do like the rhythmic pattern of Tunisian crochet. I find it uber relaxing, you know, the on, off, on, off, on, off. It's like, oh my gosh, that's great. Like, especially if you just want to do something that's like mindless, like really relax into something. So started something new, yay, because I needed to do that. Like, but yeah, Tunisian is something I think everyone should try. It's like I said, it's not hard, it's just different. How would you recommend? Ooh, I found a question. I saw it. Come on. La la la. You're done. Yeah, okay, no. Down, down. Where are you? Scroll too much. Heather, what would you recommend if you wanted a different project with the temperature blanket concept? Oh. We have 10 minutes exactly of session number 2, guys. Remember, stick around. We are going to do a nice stretch after session 2, and then in session 3, I'm announcing the winner to the giveaway. Stick around. Oh gosh, if you wanted to make something, a project with the temperature blanket concept, but you didn't want to do a blanket, which makes a lot of sense. I think this has been done multiple people have had ideas like a scarf or the snake idea. I don't know if the person making a snake is doing this like a temperature mood book. Every day is a new row concept snake. But if I were to do one, and I've thought about this, I've thought about doing a scarf. It would be a really long scarf, but I'm okay with that because I love really long scarves. That's a good question. Have any of you done anything different? A temperature project where you did something every day, but it wasn't a blanket. Like mention something in the chat. Thinking of all the different things that you could make. I mean, somebody could even make like a booklet, a book. You know how, have you guys seen those crochet books that are oftentimes for babies? But if you did like a square, kind of like Tony did, TL Yarn Crafts, how she made a square with everyday temperatures, and then you could just like, instead of making the squares into a blanket, you could turn those squares into a book, or you could turn those squares into a wearable. That would be a really cool concept if you made those squares into like a duster or because you got 12 of those. I don't know, this is a lot. I'm just throwing that out there, seeing if it sticks against the wall. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think about that, because the thing that's hard is there's 365 days in a year, and like, what project can you make with that much data, with that many rows, or with that many squares, or that many concepts? Okay, great question though. Oh, somebody was asking about crochet retreats. I think you can Google it, like Google crochet retreats. I just started hosting crochet retreats. I started last year. My first ever crochet retreat was in Colorado. This year, I'm hosting a crochet retreat in Florida. I know I only have one under my belt, so I don't have a ton of experience, and every single one that I do is going to be extremely different. Like the one last year was at a hotel. The one this year is going to be at an Airbnb. So less tickets because it's a smaller space, but it's going to be more intimate and more relaxing, more casual. And next year's, I don't know. It's all gonna be different. It's all gonna be in a different place, because I want to create an experience, a really cool experience. I want to have a lot of fun, and I want it to be a retreat where it's not stressful. I want it to be relaxing and fun. So there's me, and you can always just look at my website, and I'll have any information of upcoming events on the website featured. But other than that, really Google is the only other place I can think of to find crochet retreats. Not a lot of people host them. Crochet guilds, the Crochet Guild of America, there's local crochet guilds in every state. You could check those out to see if they're hosting anything. I know like Jimmy Bean Wool is hosting a retreat. I think it's this, is it this weekend? I think it's this weekend where they're doing some stuff. So, I mean, there's so many different people that host, companies that host, organizations that host. Google might be the best route. But yes, when it comes to crochet retreats, I think that's the other thing to keep in mind for people with crochet retreats, is that they're gonna cost money to go to, because venues are expensive. To find a place to just be, a place to be at for people to come to, is expensive. And then wherever you go, you gotta sleep, you gotta stay there, so you gotta find accommodations, you gotta eat, you know, so you gotta have food to eat. And then if somebody is teaching something, they're going to need money for materials, they're going to want money for their time to be there. And so that's something that you just, if you want to be a part of a retreat, if you want to go to one, just understand that they are going to cost money, because there's a lot that goes into them. And just to kind of be understanding about that. I only say that because the last 2 retreats that I've had, 3 minutes and 45 seconds left. There's been so many people that I really wish could go, or people that said I would totally go, but you know, it costs too much. And I am definitely somebody that I get in trouble because I make things too cheap. I'm told that I'm more heart-minded than I am business-minded, and it's because I care about people too much. But Brittany, you finished your project. Congratulations. Whoop whoop. She knocked one out. Congratulations. But I do what I can for retreats. But I also make sure you guys have a blast. Working on Tunisian dishcloths, I keep dropping stitches. Any recommendations other than counting the loops for every row? What I've noticed when I do Tunisian crochet and I'm dropping stitches, it's almost always either at the beginning or the end. So not necessarily the middle. Yes, it is possible that, you know, you accidentally miss like an insert where you place your crochet hook, but more often than not, it's generally at the beginning or the end. So a tip would be to just place a stitch marker right at the beginning where you're like, I will need to put a stitch here or a stitch there at the very end, just to mark that. Another good way to kind of eyeball it is counting. If you're noticing that the particular Tunisian stitch that you're working, and this happened to me, I was trying a brand new Tunisian crochet stitch and I was also dropping stitches. I was like, what's going on? Counting every loop, every forward pass for the first like 3 forward passes. And then if you want to count casting off, making sure it's the same number. But if you can count the first 3 forward passes, it kind of gives you an idea of, okay, this is how the beginning looks and this is how the ending looks, or how it feels. And it gives you a platform to reference, I guess. So maybe that'll help. Honestly, when it comes to dropping stitches, it's always the same answer. Oftentimes, like just finding where to place your crochet hook and making sure you got the correct number of stitches every time. And the only real way to solve that is to count. La, la, la. Okay, we got 50 seconds left on the clock for session number 1 or session number 2, and we're about to stretch. About to stretch. Josie took on teaching a crochet class at church. Very cool. Goal is to crochet for charity. Love it. But first I need to teach the easiest pattern for new crocheters. Help. What do you suggest? A scarf, blanket, pattern. Warm Up America's sections. Boom, right there, because you can use the cheap yarn, so it's not expensive. 20 seconds. You're only making 7-inch by 9-inch rectangles. You can use whatever pattern you want, and it's a great opportunity to practice, to learn, to play, and you can use up scraps because they don't even care if they're all the same color. They just need the actual section itself. Session number 2 is over. I'm gonna set a 2-minute transition. 2 minutes. I'm gonna let you find that pausing, stopping spot. So again, no stress, no anxiety. Just get to a good spot where you can stop working on project number 2, fold that up, put it to the side, and when you're ready, just stand up and we will start or get ourselves situated to start our stretch. And I'm gonna move my camera around so I can stand up and you can see me. Da da da. There we go. Move. Chair. There we go. Okay. And don't cheat on me, guys. Don't just sit there and watch me do it. If anything, just stand up, okay? Because what we just did is we just sat in the same position for 50 minutes. Put that into perspective, guys. We had the first 5-minute intro, then 20-minute session 1, 5-minute transition, so there's 30 minutes right there. And then we just finished our 20-minute session number 2. So there's 50 minutes that we were just sitting down and probably in the same position. And as a crocheter, 40 seconds left. As a crocheter, seasoned. As a seasoned crocheter, you will see this across the platform. Every single seasoned crocheter has probably somewhere in their YouTube channel made a video on stretching because it is important, but we do forget about it because we get invested. We get in the zone and we just go. And unfortunately, if we don't do stretches, if we don't use things like the pillow, this is not sponsored. If we don't use tools, then our body starts to get those aches and pains. We don't want that, right? We want the blood to be circulating, the oxygen to be circulating, our muscles to be like having some balance. And so, good. Right, alarm just went off. When it comes to our stretches, I try to do 5 stretches with you. The parts of the body I try to aim at are our neck, our shoulders, our upper chest, upper back, our forearms, our wrists, our fingers, and our lower back. I know that's more than 5. I don't hit all of these areas every time, but I do try to mix things up every week to keep things interesting. I always do the neck and I always do the lower back because those 2 sections are part of that C-curve thing that we take on, and I feel like those areas need to be addressed. They're the most important. Okay, for the neck, I'm just gonna do the yeses and the nos. I really like this stretch because it's simple, but surprisingly, you feel it strong. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the yeses. We're gonna do 5. So starting with your chin to your chest and then back. All the way back. So there's 1, chest, back, 2, forward, and back, 3, forward, and back, 4, forward, and back, 5. Great, so those were the yeses. Now let's do the nos. We're gonna keep our shoulders straight and we're just turning the head. We're gonna turn our head to the right and then turn our head to the left. And when you're turning, try to see how far you can go in that direction. Okay, so not just like, yeah, here I go. I'm doing my nose right now. No, don't do that. Actually feel the stretch. So right, so that was just 1. Right, left, right, left. There's 3. Right, left, last one, right and left. Great. So that was our neck. Next, I wrote these down. Next, I want to do wall stretches. I really like wall stretches because whenever you can have use a solid piece that is like resistance, it can help so much. So find a wall. Unfortunately, nope, I can't reach that because of that. I end up using this right here, but find a wall and place your body against the wall, like flat against it, having one arm out, and then turn your body away so that way you can feel it right here. Okay, we want the stretch right there. It also is a way of like opening up that side of your chest. And just hold it for like 10 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And having the wall really helps deepen that stretch, and I really love doing these. Okay, let's do the other side. So arm, and then I'm going to turn away. Don't look at my butt. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Oh, that feels so good. I love that one. Okay, followed by, I'm going to do wrist extensions today. So taking our wrist, I'm going to have it forward, and I'm just going to give some resistance. I'm not yanking. The goal is not to make my fingers touch my forearm. I'm just going to give some resistance. Have a nice stretch right there. Feel good. 5 seconds or so. Like, feel it. If you want longer, go longer. And then the opposite. So taking my hand, I'm going to just kind of give some resistance on this side. I'm going to keep my elbow bent here. I want the focus to be right here, not necessarily on my forearm. Okay? 3, 4, 5. Great. Let's do the other side. So forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back. 2, 3, 4, 5. The next thing I want to do is not necessarily a stretch, it's more of a massage for your palms. When I'm working, everything is scrunched up here, and I do start to feel a lot of pressure or strain in my palm. So just, especially in the thumb, so taking your hand and just kind of fingers on the bottom of your hand, using your thumb, and just kind of like make some circles with your thumb on your palm, wherever you're feeling some tension. When I've had a long day of crocheting, my palms do start to hurt in the weirdest places. And sometimes I find just kind of taking my thumb and digging it into the spot that I feel stress, tension, it really does help. Okay, let's do the other side. So fingers on the back, just using our thumb, kind of like all over. You'll notice like there'll be spots on your palm where you're like, that didn't really do anything. And there'll be other spots on your palm where you're like, ooh, ooh. Yeah, feel that. And one hand will definitely be different than the other, because you'll notice one hand just seems to work harder than the other. Great. So that is number 4. We did yes, no's, we did the wall stretches, we did the wrist extensions, just did the palm massages. Last thing is the toe touch. You do not have to toe touch. In fact, all of the stretches that I ever show you, you do not have to do. You can absolutely substitute something else in. If the stretch that I'm doing is one that you know either you can't do or brings you pain, please don't force yourself into do it. The whole point is just to get your body moving, and I'm just giving you some ideas. Now, I want to focus on the lower back. I want to release the tension. So you don't have to touch your toes. The whole idea is really just kind of to like hang, and release, relax your lower back. Because we were just sitting in a chair, we just had everything like stiff. Just kind of like relax it, release it. I'm gonna do 10 seconds. Something like that. And you can literally stay there as long as that, I can't even speak. Stay there as long as you want. Really feel these stretches. I hope they make you feel good. Honestly, just by standing up, you've made leaps and bounds, because sitting in one spot, it's going to cause blood to pool. It's going to cause a shortage of your circulation. Just things are going to start slowing down and stopping, or extensions, aches, pains are going to start. And just by standing up, getting the blood flowing, doing the reverse of what you were just doing, it's a big deal. So thank you so much for doing that with me. I hope that it felt good. I hope it helped. Now let's go ahead and dive right into session number 3, and then we're done, guys. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my iPad here. Go ahead and have a seat. Grab project number 3 and begin. I'm gonna move my camera back, but I wanna make sure that you guys can jump right into your project. Bring my chair. We were gonna name the chair at one point. Totally forgot about that. There we go. Awesome. Nope. We want to see that. Cool. Nope. There we go. Cool. Before I do the giveaway, I want to make sure I look at these questions real quick. La la la. Yeah, Josie, I would definitely say that if you're teaching, those Warm Up America sections, probably number 1 is going to be an awesome idea for you. Second thing is the soap sacks. With the Sack Foundation, you can pick a very basic pattern. I really like the linen stitch soap sack that I just did a tutorial for. I think it was my first tutorial for 2025 in January. It's very beginner friendly, works up really quickly. And soap sacks can be donated locally, so you don't have to ship anything. If you go to soapsack.com, there is a spot on her website where you can look at what state you live in, and it will give you an idea of some places that you can donate your soap sacks to with a unopened bar of soap. And you could probably also generally look at any food banks, any churches, homeless shelters. You could check out schools, colleges. There's a lot of places that just are really grateful for them. So those are 2 really fun ideas that can help with charity, and they're small and easy. Went too far. Where are you? Okay, Tinker Mom, 79, working on the Tunisian dishcloth. Oh, I think we did this one, counting the loops. Sharon says, I'm working on my temp blanket and put stitch markers every 50 stitches to keep count, and then the 10 stitches on the end, but the count keeps changing when I turn my work. Help! Sure. Oh, I went too far. There we go. Ooh, it's a good question. If it is increasing a stitch every row, I mean, honestly, if the count is changing every row, I would start counting, and I would find my base, knowing the base number is the, sorry, I'm not looking at the project right now, but it's however many stitches were in the first row of February, that's going to be the same number of stitches that are supposed to be in every row. If your next row you have 1 extra stitch, I would just decrease somewhere. I wouldn't, just kind of do a little insert, kind of a, what's the word? Not it, like, I want to say Jimmy rig it, but that's not. I just kind of do the loophole of just making a decrease and get back on track. If you don't have enough stitches, then do the reverse, just add a stitch somewhere in there just to keep on track. But get yourself to a point where you're noticing every row is the same count, or if you're noticing, on this row it's one number and on the next row it's a different number, but then it kind of stays in the same repeat pattern. I think that, that's what I would do if I were in that situation. And I hope that helps. But you got the stitch markers, so you're doing all the right things. I'm not sure. So if that happens, I would just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. Try to keep that number of stitches the same in each row. And if you're noticing, I have one too many, just decrease somewhere. It's not a big deal. If I have I need one more, just throw a stitch in there somewhere. It's for February, it's not going to be a big deal. Thank goodness. What are we supposed to do for the drawing? So if you miss a drawing, it's fine. Here in the Wednesday WIP Knockouts, I just have small little funsy giveaways that I do. If you miss one, there's going to be multiple. They happen quite frequently, so no hard feelings. The way it works is you watch Wednesday WIP Knockout, and the third section, if you wait to the third section, I will announce like, hey, I'm going to throw a giveaway. In order to enter the giveaway, I need you to comment in the comment section this word. And then in the next week, I will announce the winner. So if you missed that and you didn't enter, that's totally okay. Just wait for the next one. It'll come. But that's generally how they will work. You gotta watch them. You gotta watch them. You can't skip. Tiffany, I started a complicated temp blanket using Yarn Bee Soft Secret. Okay, I am using the moss stitch and it's coming out wonky. Any suggestions on a better stitch to use? It's really funny because when I look at stitch books, the moss stitch looks identical to the crunch stitch. In fact, in multiple crochet stitch books that I have, they are worked the exact same, except for one will start with one stitch and the other will start with another stitch. It's like, okay, but then the pattern is like the same. Like, all right, so if you're struggling with the moss stitch, I did too, for whatever reason, I don't even know why. I prefer the crunch stitch. So maybe check out the crunch stitch, see what you feel about it. However, I've also seen the crunch stitch be referred to as the linen stitch or the seed stitch. And I'm like, well, that's new, but okay. And unfortunately, that's something I see happen every now and then, is a stitch a stitch have multiple different names or be categorized and the same. So if you're working up the moss stitch and it is the version that closely resembles the linen or the seed stitch, maybe check out a pattern that is the same pattern but called a different name. Maybe the way somebody else shows how to do that pattern will be easier to follow. All right, we have 11 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and announce the winner to the giveaway. Woohoo! If you follow my, if you are subscribed to my channel, I have been posting in the community often, and I'll post questions or I'll post updates, show how my projects are looking at the moment, like my temperature blanket or my project with Bonnie that is going on right now, the Navigator Lapgan. And one of the questions that I recently posted in my community on my YouTube channel was tools that you use to help with your crochet experience, like when it gets dark, or even if it's not necessarily dark, but help you see your stitches better, like a magnifying glass. Because, you know, there's those really cool arms with magnifying glasses that you kind of like maneuver over your stitches, so it kind of makes everything bigger, easier to see. Well, the reason why I brought that up is because I've found that I use my 2 neck lights all the time. I have one next to my bed, one next to my couch, you know, the places where I'll just kind of find myself relaxing and crocheting. And sometimes just reading, because I use the light for multiple different things. And so I decided to get a neck light that of my two neck lights, I like this one the best because it seems to be the brightest and it seems to have the best coverage of what I'm doing. And so this is actually the neck light that I use next to my couch, right in my project bag. And I don't know why, like I ordered it, so it's fresh, it's brand new, not even opened. I'm gonna open it for you. I don't know why it's in Christmas. It must have been a thing where they had marketing for Christmas and they had some left over. I don't know, but I mean, whatever, it is what it is, right? So it's closed right now. I'm gonna open it so you guys can see what it is. Gotta love a sharp pair of embroidery scissors right there. Cuts like butter. Okay. So this one, I got black because I didn't want to get a color that, if this is a prize, I didn't want to get a color that someone's like, I don't like pink, or I don't like purple, or I don't like that color, you know? So I was like, black, white, pretty, like whatever, they're just neutral. So the reason why I like this one, prefer this one, because I have 2 different styles, but I like this one because it has that fat part right there. So it has the thin one, the thin light that you can use, but this light right here that turns on, will it turn? Oh, it does. It's like, look how big that is. And then this one right here, it's just on off, whereas this one has like, there we go. This can also like rotate, so if you want to, you can rotate it up, down, like. Anyways, I really like it, and I hope the winner does too. This is gonna go to whoever wins. I'm gonna put that back in the packaging. So it looks like it was never opened. Cool. I hope the winner loves this because I love, love, love mine. That's my favorite. Okay. So what I've got here, got it all pulled up already. So I haven't even fetched all the comments yet. I have this ready to go. I'm just gonna go ahead and I am going to push the button. I can't see your comments. I will see your comments in just a second. So if you guys are asking any questions, give me a second. All right, so here we go. We're gonna drum roll. Can you drum roll for me, please? If you have, if you're on your phone or your tablet, can you push the drum emoji? If you are on your computer or if you don't use emojis, just type BRRR. I really like to pump it up. I like to get excited because whenever somebody wins, it's a very exciting experience and I just want them to feel that excitement and that energy. You guys rock! Look at you! Oh my gosh, you're amazing. Here we go, guys. This is gonna happen real fast. And no, it's not. You and you and you and you, you. Oh, I wonder. always funny how the lives give me trouble. Okay, so found a new one. This is called Comment Shark. So it's YouTube random comment picker. Popped in the URL right there. And why not? I love it. I always find one that'll work. Okay, we're gonna try. I've tried raffles before. We're gonna try raffles this time. Like, I've done raffles before. Popped in the code. Now let's see if that'll work. There we go. Load comments. Okay, it's loaded comments. Title, exclude duplicates. Winner just one. Filter by hashtag. We did I heart you. Countdown. 3. Remove ads, bonus, countdown, confirm. Oh. Okay, so it says there's a total of 63 potential winners. Oh, start. All right. Progress. 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. The winner is. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. That is so funny. Congratulations, brother. Oh, that's awesome. So everyone say congratulations to Brittany. She is the winner of this awesome necklight. And honestly, I am so excited that you are the winner, knowing that you are a newer crocheter and being able to build up your tools and your success. Like, congratulations. I'm so excited to get that out to you. Yay! Woo! All right, for everybody else, just keep checking in on my lives. I love to give back. I love to do these kind of giveaways, and it's just so easy for me to be able to do that on this platform in these lives. So keep checking back in for when the next one goes live, because I do not give you clues in the comment or in the description section below. I do not give you any alerts that, okay, in this one, I'm doing one, and this one, I'm not. You've got to check them all out to find out. So, yay! Can you link the light? Actually, it's so funny because I did. If you go to my YouTube channel under community where I made that neck light post, I posted links to this light, and I posted a link to my other neck light, so you click the link and you'll see it. And it's an affiliate link, but if you click it, you'll see the picture and then choose if you would like to buy it or not. So at least it'll give you a direction on where you can get yours. It is the exact same link. So yeah, just go to my YouTube channel, go to community, and that post, the links are all right there for you. Bye, Arrow Lover. Thank you so much. Oh, can you link the light? Congratulations. Yes, so super, super congratulations, Brittany. I'm so excited for you. Oh, nice. Okay. What else was I going to talk about? Okay, now that I'm caught up with the chat, we've done the giveaway. I do want to remind everybody that for the month of February, we are actively in a Warm Up America shawl campaign where they have reached out to us in desperate need for shawls that they're going to be giving to the elderly, a retirement community that is just the retirement community has reached out and said, we have a need. Can you help us with this need? The shawls need to be certain dimensions. The idea for the shawl is it to keep people warm during this cold time of year. It can be super easy, super basic, using a very standard yarn. You could do something, I mean, honestly, we don't need to go fancy. We don't need to spend a lot of money. You can use what you have in your stash. It can be mainstay. It can be Michael's Impeccables. It could be Red Heart. There's a lot of different things that we can do. Oh, that's so funny. I put my iPad away and now the timer's going off. Session number 3 has just ended. I totally forgot about the timer. That is so funny. Session 3 has just ended, guys. Wow, again, time flies. Can you believe it? Our live is up. It's over. We've just successfully finished 3 20-minute sessions where you chiseled away a little bit at 3 different projects, or if you are my one project wonder people, you got a little bit closer finishing your one project. We were able to get a really good crochet or stretch in there. We were able to talk about some awesome topics. And you know, it was just such a joy. We had the giveaway. It was such a joy to hang out with you. I have so much fun with these. I can't even express to you how much fun I have just being able to hang out with you guys every week. Please, please, please do what you can to come back next Wednesday. I am here every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you cannot make it, there are replays that you can watch. I hope you have a beautiful week. I hope that you enjoy my upcoming tutorial this week. It's going to be video number 2, panel number 2 of my collaboration project with Bonnie on the Navigator Lapgan. Very excited about that. It's going to be so much fun. I hope you enjoy that video. Again, if you have the ability to make a shawl for Warm Up America, that is awesome. Those are my updates. Please take care. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you very soon. Mwah. Bye, everybody.